Did you know that Stikbots were created by a guy named Alex in Hong Kong? Maybe you didn't, I'm not sure. Welcome to 50 Facts About Stikbots that you may or may not know. While the Stikbot anniversary date is agreed to be August 3rd, the only people that do not agree with this date is actually Stikbot themselves, who celebrate the August 7th. Or sometimes any other day that isn't the 7th. Animation Eddie, the original animator for Stikbot Central, had no experience before applying for the job, but still got it and started working as soon as possible. The animators for Stikbot Murder Mystery years later went on to state the fact they do not like animating with Stikbots. It kind of makes sense because of the people that animated Stikbot Murder Mystery. Stikbot Eating Worm is the most viewed Stikbot video to date, but it was not even created by Stikbot Central themselves. It was actually created by a YouTuber named Pika1505. Speaking of Pika, a little after Stikbot Eating Worm, he disappeared from Stikbots from his channel for over 4 years, but recently came back to comment on the 9th anniversary Stikbot collab, which happened to be a recreation of Stikbot Eating Worm. When making Off the Grid, Moonshine Animations had to make a lot of changes to the final battle of Season 1 because Stikbot deemed it too scary and too gory for kids. This was referring to the Cecilia battle, which, was kind of toned down, but I can kind of see what he was going for. Contrary to the popular belief, but Off the Grid was made week by week instead of making the whole season before posting it, so basically it kind of just worked like anime. Tales of the Strange originally had a very different story. It was originally about evil and stuff like that, but it was changed to be more trendy with the popularity of Stranger Things, hence the title. Stikbots were once a joke for an April Fool's Day, but were eventually made into a real product. Stikbot has done many other April Fool's pranks, including a Stikbot video game, which they posted, which some people actually believe was real, and whatever this is. Oh my goodness, I'm glad this was an April Fool's joke. While not confirmed, the 20k to make a Stikbot star contest have been rumored to just have been a glorified job application because some people that actually won the $20,000 in the contest as a whole actually went on to start working for Zing after they made their submission and won. In 2019, Zing was bought by FizzBuzz, and that is why their content changed a lot in this era. It started becoming more family friendly and more consumable. In 2022, when the Stikbot Discord server was created, on day 1 it was actually rated and had massive issues with so much moderation issues. This was solved about a week later. Stikbot Spotlight was created because the Stikbot Show Morning Edition, which was a successor to the Stikbot Show, became too expensive to make and was not meeting their view requirements to make it profitable. So with that, they created Stikbot Spotlight, which was a very cheap alternative to the Bot.0 segment on the Stikbot show. Stikbots once made VidCon in 2015. They were featured going around the area like convention centers, and it was quite cringe. The original Stikbot Studio app was rechanged in 2019 to the Zing Studio app, while there was a new Stikbot app made, which basically did the same stuff, but it was just different. Moonshine Animation's last animation for Stikbot Central was When Monsters Attack. He quit because he finished it right before Halloween because that's when Stikbot wanted to release it, but then they delayed the release of it and Moonshine felt it was the point where he was done working for the company because it became too stressful and too many deadlines. In 2020, Stikbot changed their channel for kids, meaning you no longer comment on the video or do lots of other stuff, and it stayed like this for almost 2 years, but from pressure from fans, they eventually reversed that decision. As of today, the best-selling Stikbot product from Stikbot is the 8 Solid Pack, which has a lot of Stikbots in it, so that's good. In 2024, Kids Spelling Club became the second dedicated Stikbot channel to reach 100,000 subscribers and actually receive a silver play button. Also, Kids Spelling Club gets more views per video than the official Stikbot channel, despite the fact that the official Stikbot channel has a bigger budget. Stikbot Central re-uploaded the 7th anniversary Stikbot collab that the fans made to their channel, but was only done because the community forced them to do that, and that ended up being the most viewed video on their channel for the entire year. When the Stikbot plushie came out, it was actually very limited stock in very few countries, and there was some sales of it online as well. But Stikbot actually has a lot of Stikbot plushies just sitting in the warehouse. Like, when they ran out of the Stikbot heads, they literally just shipped people these Stikbot plushies instead of the heads, so they literally just had these sitting in their warehouse because they felt bad for not having the head, so they literally gave a whole plushie. Speaking of the Stikbot plushies, the green one is the most wide-released one, but the blue and red one are very rare. But recently, the YouTuber Banana Games got one from an online seller, a real red Stikbot plushie. which is incredibly rare because this was only really shown in Toy Fair and in some promotional videos. In 2023, Stikbot made a long, difficult quest which required hints from Zing Tanika's series. The quest has since been hidden from websites but can still be accessed with a link. The quest was kinda successful, with it being very difficult for people to solve, but was a fun challenge for those that approached it. Stikbot Live was once a thing where a VTuber-like animation of a Stikbot would be seen. This was before the popularity of VTubers, which came afterwards, which basically means Stikbot did the cool thing before it was cool. Speaking of live streaming, Stikbot Central once had a 6-hour live stream on the 4th of May 2019, where they live streamed the entire series of Off the Grid, and include ad breaks of like their actual products. But as soon as the live stream ended, they fully deleted it, and the only proof in existence is from this Instagram post of the Stikbots watching the live stream. When releasing new Stikbots, Zing always releases them on Amazon first, rather than the Zing store, because they do that later. Why do they do this? I have no idea. I don't know, maybe taxes? When the T13 beef started early 2024, Stikbot sales reached a high point since 2019, with multiple Stikbots used in these T13 videos being sold way more than usual. Despite the high sales surges, Zing has yet to make an official reference to T13. This inherently kept the beef alive for longer, because no business kind of interfered with it and made it cringe. Stikbot started experimenting with blind products in 2019 with Stikbot Dinos, where there are many different rarities, with the Pterodactyl being the rarest. This went on making the Stikbot Monster blind packs in 2019 with the same business model. To this day, Stikbot still does this, but mainly only in the UK and other stores, with having blind assortment Stikbot packs when ordering online. This practice has been proving to work with making more money, because you know what Stikbots you're going to get, but hasn't had the best customer satisfaction. Back in 2019, when Clickbots were first announced, there was a lot of community backlash for the fact that Clickbots were anti-Stikbot, with lacking suction cups and kind of like overall lacking the toy-like aspect of Stikbots. And people were mainly worried that these were actually going to replace Stikbots, until the Clickbots came out and then everyone forgot what they were even worried about. Speaking of Clickbots were trying to change the way that the toys were being perceived. They gave each Clickbot its own specific name instead of calling it a color or what its feature is. This was trying to promote their Clickbot series, trying to do something like Ninjago does, I think. The first Stikbot advent calendar came out in 2022 with overwhelmingly high demand, with them selling out around 3,000 of their set stock with only in a few months. This then led to the 2023 advent calendar having double the stock, but this was a misread because the advent calendar didn't sell a ton of copies, and a ton were left over even after December 25th. And then it caused the advent calendar to go on massive discounts. But with that being said, the 2020 advent calendar was a major success on YouTube, with it being some of the most attention Stikbot has gotten with its recent product in quite a while. There is a fandom wiki for Stikbot, but over the years it was vandalized a lot, but now it's in pretty good state with actual real information. There is, however, more reliable stickies for Stikbots in general, like the Stikbot Multiverse Wiki, which has very accurate information and very well clean, very well researched, and has a lot more love into it. There was an image posted of a black translucent Stikbot online, but people had no idea where it came from. And no, it's not this black translucent Stikbot. This one's not that rare. This was a mystery for a very long time before Clay Film found out that it was actually a Latin America exclusive and was very limited. Another rare Stikbot and Stikbot video was the Stikbot Ninja video that came out back in 2015. This was one of the first Stikbot animations posted online that was not an ad. It had a very super white translucent Stikbot, not to be confused with this one. This Stikbot is actually super rare, being considered to having less than 20 copies of it being available in the world. With similar rarity, but not the same, the yellow translucent Stikbot's also very rare. This one was commonly seen in both Kids Filming Club's videos and Stikbot Wizards videos. There is actually a full Stikbot Bible created online by these people that you can actually look at and see every single Stikbot in existence, which is quite a lot. Stikbot Central's subscriber count has been stuck in limbo for the past 5 years. That's not really a fun fact, but it's a fact. Like I mentioned earlier, the main channel's growth stopped when they set the channel for Made for Kids, because that means your views barely get recommended, and they lost basically like 99% of their audience. And when they eventually changed it back, it was basically too late. but their subscriber count has gone up a little bit in the past few years, so maybe 1 million is not fully out of the question just yet. Stikbot drawstring bags were once a thing. This was back when Stikbot 1 tried to expand the Stikbot brand. Having more than just toys, but just having clothing items like t-shirts and drawstring bags and who knows, maybe a water bottle at one point. This proved to kind of work and kind of be successful, but they decided to stick with just making toys from now on, and maybe some stickers from time to time. Stikbot Central made a Help Find Bob campaign, back when Bob from the Stikbot show went missing, but they never did this with Henry tutorials after Henry went missing, and is still missing to this day. We don't know where he went. Stikbot Central, please make a campaign about we need to find him. Stikbots are going to be 10 years old soon. That's not, well, that's a fact, but that's kind of more of a deep thought than anything else. Well, that was 50 facts about Stikbots. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to see more of these, just let me know. I had a lot of fun making this because there is so much more facts about Stikbots, but I didn't want to make this video super long because I could do 100, 150. There's so much stuff to know about Stikbots. And a lot of stuff I talk about, there's actually individual videos that you can watch to find out more about this information. Well, that was the facts, and goodbye.